I'm getting sick and tired of you sleeping on yourself. And welcome to Thrive Out Loud. If you're brand new, welcome home. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so excited you're here. So judging by the title of today's video, you can already tell that I'm about to get a little up close and personal, because this is one of the things that just... When will you stop sleeping on yourself? Look at you, out here making mistakes, falling, but getting back up. Look at you, waking up every single morning and trying again. Look at you, out here making it. Don't you see what we see? Can't you feel just how much of a vibe you are? You may not be where you want to be. I get it. You may feel like you're making tortoise steps to your destination, but you're not in the same place you were at yesterday. Look at you, pushing right past the noise, all the fear, all the anxiety, pushing right past all of it and choosing to thrive. Look at you, trying again after failing, trying despite being afraid, trying despite someone saying, no, you can't. Look at you doing it, as unqualified as you are, as scared as you are, as afraid as you are. Just look at you, sit there and bask in it. I'll wait. I'll give you a moment. Look at you, learning from your mistakes and trying again, coming back better, coming back wiser, coming back stronger. I get that it may not be fun. Why do you have to fail so many times when other people get it right the first time around? I feel you. It may not be fun. It may not be motivating. It may be discouraging to a certain extent. But today, I just want to focus on what's going right. You're doing it. You got out of your way. You got out of the noise way. Look at you doing it. Today's video is all about how to stop playing small. Because let's face it, aren't you tired of playing small? I know I am. And I'm sick and tired of you playing small. It'll be a cool conversation. Number one, before any tips, any tricks, any hacks, can we just take a moment and give a round of applause? A round of applause to you. Can we just take a moment and give a round of applause to that girl in the mirror, that boy in the mirror, that person you see in the mirror, the one who you nitpick and criticize every single morning? Can we just take a minute and give a round of applause to that person? That person woke up today. That person tried. That person gave it their all. Can we just sit back and give them a round of applause? Because it takes guts to do that. Many tried, many couldn't do it. Through all the adversities, all the challenges, everything that screamed no, that person in the mirror still pushed through. And not only that, but they conquered. Can we just give them a round of applause? Point number two. Nourish yourself like a plant. I'll say that again. Nourish yourself.
Shame, you're not real.
Nourish yourself like a plant, like an actual plant. How do you treat yourself? How do you show up for yourself? How do you take care of yourself? How do you speak to yourself? How do you speak about yourself? How do you show up for you in the world? You know, I previously used to think nourishing myself was all about eating right, working out, and, getting a little bit of movement in during the day. And it took a hard knock to realize that that's not even the half of it. That's just the surface level stuff. What I'm talking about is nourishing the inner child. Do you nourish yourself? Are you in an environment that's nourishing you? Are you in a place that makes you feel like you're being cared for, that you're loved and you're taken care of? How do you show up as your best self? And not for anyone else, but for you. How do you take care of yourself? How do you treat yourself? How do you speak about yourself? How do you speak to yourself? There's a quote I once read, that you are what you eat. And in as much as the health enthusiast in me totally agrees with that, that's not all. That's not all it takes. That's not all that goes into a person. Just like a plant needs to be fed, it needs to be watered, it needs to receive sunlight, it needs to be in good fertile soil. It needs all of that, not just one, not just two, but all of that in order for it to flourish. But why is it that we don't treat ourselves the same way? Why is it that we eat junk food because it's the quickest thing you could find on the side of the road? We don't work out because we don't have time. We don't sleep enough because groove is life. And we spend a majority of our time in environments that are not good for us, near people that are not good for us. At the end of the day, you wonder why you feel so drained, so worn out, but you haven't nourished yourself. Tip number 3 is a fine line between living and existing. Live for you. Choose to live for you. This is the part where I need you to make an intentional decision, an intentional choice that you will live for you. This is that fine line between living and surviving.
And I would hate to hear that you're surviving and not living. With so much color in the world, why would you opt to see all the gray areas in the world?
At what point will you decide to thrive out loud? At what point will you decide to thrive out loud and live a life that you're actually happy with? Live a life that you feel fulfilled with? Live a life that you are passionate about?
At what point during all the surviving will you actually live?
I think you need to make that intentional choice for yourself that you will choose to live for you. Live a life that is for you and not for the next person. A big disappointment for me in my adult life, a thing that I've struggled with for the longest of times, especially in my adult friendships, is how I would exaggerate my importance in someone's life. I would think that just because I regard them as important to me, that, it is vice versa. And it would sting so bad when it's not reciprocated, when they don't do things for me that I would do for them in a heartbeat. But if I had been truthful to myself, if I had been, intentional about living a life for me, like retaining my individuality, retaining who I was as a person, whether I was around my friend or not.
Then I think that really would have made it like 20 times easier, because cool, like by adult friendshipping. I don't know how you get to it.
Point number 4, you are worthy. You are worthy. Between you and I honestly think this pity party is getting tired. How about we agree that we just lay it down because it's not working? I think this downplaying who we are to make the next person comfortable is really getting old, and at some point we need to, let it go, but put it down, let it go. I mean, you keep getting back up whenever you fall, whenever you run into a bit of a challenge, a bit of a pothole here and there, because you keep getting back up. What other clue do you need to prove to you just how worthy you are? What other clue do you need to show you that you are still worthy, you are needed, you are valuable, and you are an important part of society? What other clue do you need? How many more clues do you need? I mean, whenever you fumble the ball, whenever you drop the ball, you keep getting back up. You don't know how, I don't know how, and you know what? It doesn't have to make sense. But the fact that you managed to get back up despite all the challenges and despite all the difficulties, isn't that reason enough for you? You are worthy, worthy of it all, worthy of all your heart's desires. You are worthy. You are here for a reason. But sadly, you cannot discover the reason if you're too busy surviving. Live, thrive, discover your purpose. Tip number 5, don't be so hard on yourself. I mean, I'm not saying go all soft on me now, but
Jeez.
can you loosen up a bit? Stop being so hard on yourself. Stop taking yourself so seriously. Life is too short. Well, I'm not saying be a clown, but I'm just saying, there's a balance. Why are you so hard on yourself? So what if it failed? What if it blew up in your face? Whatever it is. What if it didn't go right? What if they disappointed you? What if, what if, what if? Why are you being so hard on yourself? Is there anything you could have done differently? If yes, then now get over it. If no, get over it. Why are you being so hard on yourself? Why are we so quick to grant grace to the next person, the same amount of grace that we wouldn't in a heartbeat grant to ourselves? Why are we so quick to forgive other people and not ourselves? Why does it take us so long to say, you know what, kiddo, You tried, and it blew up right in your face. It's fine. Why does it take so long? Why is it so easy to forgive the next person and not yourself when you are the person you know? You don't know the other person's intention about you. Grant yourself the permission to give yourself grace. I feel like grace is what carries us through on a day-to-day basis. Grace keeps us going. Grant yourself that grace. Stop being so hard on yourself. Tip number 6, you are not baby food. You're not meant to be digestible. You don't need to be digestible. You're not baby food. Stop this thing of breaking yourself down, tearing yourself down just so you can fit in someone else's mold. That mold is made for them and not you. Stop breaking down all the bits and pieces of your magic, everything that makes you you, just so you can fit someone else's expectations of you. You don't need to be digestible.
Listen, if a person needs to choke, let them choke. Let them choke. Let them choke.
Stop being less of yourself just because someone else cannot handle the magic that you are. Stop trying to downplay your magic to make someone else comfortable. Stop trying to be digestible so the next person doesn't choke. Chances are that person doesn't even like you in the first place. Here you are trying to change all of these to make that next person comfortable. What are they willing to do for you? I'll wait. I need you to be okay with the fact that you are not for everyone. You are not for everyone and everybody. You won't be for everyone. Not everyone will receive you the same way. Not everyone will immediately fall head over heels in love with you. And that is normal. Be okay with that so that you can own who you are. So that you can walk in your authentic light. So that you can walk as your truest self. Not everyone will immediately fall head over heels in love with you. And that's okay. I mean, it's not your responsibility to make the next person like you. That's on them. And if they don't like you, sharp. If they like you, wonderful. If they don't, great. But it's not your responsibility to sway them to one direction or the other. While you are so busy focusing on making the next person like you, you're missing out on all the chances you can take to like yourself more. How dare you downplay yourself like that? How dare you sleep on yourself like that? How dare you play so small when you were destined for nothing but greatness? Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Thrive Out Loud. If you love giving this a listen, please share with someone who will vibe to what we vibe to. And please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and tell a friend to tell a friend